Hey everybody, long time no see, huh? Yeah, I know, it's been a crazy couple of months. In fact, the insanity really hasn't even settled down much, but I decided that there was never going to be a time in life when things are going to be fully settled, so it was time to get back on to the swing of things and start making more videos and start getting more content out there. I have made a pledge to myself that I'm going to try and get 50 videos out of this channel. That's for this year. On top of that, there's going to be Thick or Thin Thursdays, which I'm hoping to implement sometime later on in the month, mid to late July. We are currently in July of 2021. We are closing in on my 49th birthday. We are closing in on the time when I will be running the marathon. This video, as I decided, should be another celery juice video, and you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my god, how many times is he going to do a celery juice video? Well, the answer is at least one more. And the reason for that is very simple. I've been drinking celery juice on an empty stomach now for almost 3 years. And I decided I wanted to see if it was doing me any good. I wasn't sure whether it was doing me any good. I wasn't sure where I was. So for the month of April, I just quit drinking celery juice altogether. And then in May, because I have such an incredibly slow metabolism, is when I noticed the effects of not drinking the celery juice. And while I didn't get full-on gout, I must say that I was experiencing heat in my toe, an indicator that gout might possibly be on its way. And as I've said many times before, when I started drinking the celery juice, my gout went away. There's going to be, we'll talk more about some of the benefits of celery juice. I'll even give a link to some of the naysayers who say that there's absolutely nothing to be gained by drinking celery juice. But I will give you some of the information on it. And I do have to say information, it's not very well scientifically studied. But I can tell you from my own experiences, not only the gout, but I've been during the month of May, after not drinking it in April, I was not experiencing the cleansing morning bowel movements that I had been prior. If you have any familiarity with Gary Taubes talks about how in our fat we have both a checking account and a savings account. And a checking account is where we put in calories and we burn calories, and that's how it's supposed to be done. But then there's the savings account. Yeah, the savings account is all that unneeded, unnecessary fat. And I've been trying to drain myself of the savings account as best I can, and drinking celery juice on an empty stomach in the morning has, I believe, made it possible to get rid of some of those things, because as I'm not going to get too graphic about it, but as awful as my morning bowel movements have been, I know that I'm getting rid of something awful in my system. And that wasn't happening in May, and I think it was because I wasn't drinking celery juice in April. So I'm back to drinking celery juice. I'm back to doing it on an empty stomach. Still going to, I'm maintaining my intermittent fasting schedule, and I'm going to do another video on that. We'll talk more in detail about intermittent fasting and the benefits of it. And so, without further ado, let's get right into the nuts and bolts of making celery juice. Now, the more time you spend chopping it into the celery into smaller pieces, into smaller little semicircles, the less time you're going to have to spend blending it in your mixer, your juicer, your Ninja, your blender, whatever it is that you have that you're pulverizing the celery into. So don't be lazy. Don't cut into great big hunks and then throw it in there and expect it to be pulverized quickly. Honestly, just a couple more seconds cutting your celery into smaller pieces, then throwing it in, will save you actual minutes when it comes time to blending your celery. And remember, when you're blending your celery, you want it to be roughly the consistency of baby food. So no matter how many times you have to blend it through or take the spatula and move everything towards the center of the blender, that's what you're going to want to do, is try to get it the consistency of baby food. Drinking celery juice at least 20 to 30 minutes before eating breakfast can help with optimal digestion and absorption of nutrients. It helps with digestive health by detoxifying the system. And some of the other benefits of celery juice that are at least accredited, at this point we can't claim that they're known, but are accredited to improvement of skin and hair and weight loss. Also, it's beneficial for chronic diseases, including anti-inflammatory. So these are just some of the benefits of celery juice. Now that we've got the celery broken down to the consistency of about baby food, it's ready to be poured into the nut milk bag and drained of its juice. So that's no more complicated than it sounded just then. You take your nut milk bag, you put it into whatever it is that you're going to be draining. And you pour directly in. Helps to have a spoon or a spatula on hand to get that last bit out. And now you're ready. As you can see, almost without squeezing, plenty of juice already coming out. I hope you're also seeing how nice and green this is. A nice pea green color. That's what we're striving for here. Another thing I want to tell you right now, that when you're making this, make it and drink it. Okay? Do not make it ahead of time. Don't make it the night before. I used to make it the night before, and I found the next morning it was thin and watery, and it just somehow isn't the same juice when it sits overnight. It's best when you drink it fresh squeezed, and it's best when you drink it on an empty stomach. Well, I have 2 cups of juice here, and all you really need is 1 cup. Now I'm going to drink both cups of this. In fact, I always make a point of finishing my celery juice. But if you have a smaller stock and only produces 1 cup of juice that has this sort of color to it, you've done just fine. So there's my 2 cups of juice, and I'm going to drink this straight down. Well, gang, I thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you're going to check out more of them as they come along. I've made a commitment to myself and to this channel to try and do 50 videos this next year, on top of any number of other Thick and Thin Thursdays. It's another concept that'll be coming up soon. Check out that. Hopefully sometime in mid-July I'll be able to implement the Thick or Thin Thursday videos. But there's going to be more videos, there's going to be more content, there's going to be more research, because we're closing in on my 49th birthday. This would be the final, that would make it the final year prior to running the marathon. It's my final year to get in shape, to lose weight, to do all those things that I've been sort of half-assing along the way. Now I've got to put them into full effect, and this is one of those things. I've been drinking celery juice on an empty stomach for a long time, now almost 3 years, and as I mentioned earlier, the benefits of it. And I will put the link for everything I've talked about in this video down in the description. And until next time, remember, only by taking care of ourselves first are we capable of taking care of others. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourself.